Welcome to the Primal Armor Podcast, where we try to help each and every listener strive for a healthier tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeff Kimple, and I'll be covering every aspect within the field of health, helping you build that strong foundation for improving your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and more. It's time to take your personal wellness into your own hands, and Primal Armor is going to help you reach those goals. I just want to thank you for taking the time to tune in and listen to today's topic. Enjoy. Before we get started into the episode, I just want to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, Anchor Podcasts. They allow me to create and edit these podcasts for you guys. They're also the ones who distribute this podcast to other platforms such as Spotify and the Apple Podcast app on your phone, so you guys can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's everything needed all in one app. I encourage you all to get started today. Go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and follow the podcast. Welcome back to episode 32 of the podcast. This past week has brought up quite a bit of controversy regarding mental health, and it really set me off. If you haven't heard anything about that, I'm referring to Dak Prescott and the startup of the NFL this past weekend. Since quarantine has started, a lot of things have happened and changed in the world, and that goes for everyone out there, including you and me. Some people have had their lives changed drastically, and that can really affect their mentality. Right when the shutdown started, lots of people lost jobs, didn't know when their next paycheck was going to come, and this caused a lot of stress. In Dak Prescott's case, we didn't know if there was going to be an NFL season. To go along with that, his brother committed suicide right as the shutdown started. That's a lot to deal with and take in all at the same time. Now think about funerals at this time too. With limited gatherings, many people didn't get the proper funeral they deserved. Now put yourself in Dak Prescott's shoes. You don't know if you're going to be getting your paycheck this year, your brother just committed suicide, and you don't even get to have a proper funeral for him. That could cause some serious negative emotions and some serious depression. Now think, mental illness runs in families, and it's a brutal battle. If Dak's brother was in that dark of a place, Dak might have been, or might still be too. In a recent interview, Dak came out and admitted to battling depression and going through the hardest time of his life over the last few months. Now that's understandable, right? Well, to one Fox Sports reporter, Skip Bayless, that was not the case. To this guy, Dak is considered weak, because weak minds can't lead. And quarterbacks of a football team have to be able to lead other men to be successful. So this makes Dak weak and a bad quarterback. He said that he has no sympathy for Dak, because he showed his weakness, and no one will be able to look up to an individual with a weak mind. Nothing has ever set me off more without being directed towards me than this has. Skip Bayless is the most heartless human being walking the earth right now. To try and disgrace another human being already at the lowest point in his life is the most cowardly thing you can do. And he's doing it at the expense of his own fame. For someone who's personally struggled with mental health in the past and has had to go through therapy for help, I know what it can be like battling your own emotions in your head. And now to have someone just try to put you on blast on national television to exploit you for his own fame, that's bullshit. Dak should not be seen as weak. If you or anyone you know has battled depression or struggled with mental health, you know that it takes all the strength in the world to be able to admit that and take the steps towards bettering yourself. Dak's own words were, "I don't want to be a fake leader." You have to be real and be genuine to be a leader. You can't lead people the right way if your head isn't in the right place. And the only way to fix that is by first being able to admit it and ask for help. No one should ever feel pressured or afraid to speak up. Dak's strength and courage on one of the biggest and most vulnerable platforms in the world is awesome. And it should help encourage others to take those steps as well. It's people like Skip Bayless that make others feel like they're unable to speak up, just because they're going to be judged for it, and that causes further stress. The fact that Skip Bayless still has a job after all this is beyond me. It goes to show that Fox Sports doesn't really care what he has to say. Skip Bayless needs to be fired. That'll show that the public's opinion on mental health is changing. Having a problem and struggling with mental health doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't have the same stigma that it used to have. People are realizing the importance, and it's okay to admit it and ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you stronger than just about anything else you could do for yourself in your life. Please, don't ever be afraid to speak up to someone if you need or want help. Mental health is the hardest thing to fight on your own. Take it from me, someone who struggled mightily from it in the past. It's something you can't defeat on your own, and you need to seek help for it. Once you do, it'll completely change your life for the better. All it takes is some courage to admit that you need some help. I don't know about you guys, but what Skip Bayless said about Dak and about other people who speak up about their mental health really ticked me off, and I hope you can realize how insensitive that was. This was something that I really just wanted to rant about and get off my chest this week because I've been there before, and I just want others to realize that it's okay to speak up, that once you get help, there is a change, and your life will be so much better. It's worth it. Build that courage. Show your strength. Ask for help and make that change in your life.